Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is leading off. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pizzapia. That, of course, is the Welsh who is under the weather today.
Officer
Officer.
Welsh.
Officer Welsh. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, we're brought to you by BetMGM Sports, the king of sports books. And I'm not sure if you're Officer Welsh today or if you are Buddy Ray Welsh, famous blues singer. We'll find out by the end of the show. But Welsh is the original Joe Tough guy trying to tough it out. He sounds like crap. He looks like crap, but You know what? He's here anyway because he's a soldier. That's what you are, Welsh.
I'm a soldier. I don't know if you know, I'm a big guy. I could put someone in the hospital if I needed to, but except myself. I can put anybody in the hospital except myself when I feel like this. I'm the officer of the law here for Fantasy Pros, and in no way is it because my eyes are swollen. I know my voice sounds great. Let's do this.
I can only say this, that if there is already an emoji of my face, there must be an emoji of Welsh.
This has got to be it. This has got to be it.
Please, somebody, whoever's in charge of that, make this happen because I want to use that emoji for everything. Yeah, pretty much. So, bad boys. What you gonna do, baby? When they come for you to talk about baseball, let's start with the headlines. We'll start with the Braves activating Ronald Acuna, and it's still April. So for those of you who got a discount, congratulations. The risk paid off.
Yes,
it
sir.
is April 28th. He is now officially back with the team. So that's very exciting news. Taylor Ward continues to crush baseballs. A grand slam yesterday, scored 4 runs in the win. We had a little trivia question that Mike Mayer dropped for us in a little bit about Ward. We'll get back to that in a second. Jose Ramirez, it's a pair of 2-run bombs yesterday. Paul Blackburn, much to the dismay of Mike Mayer, threw another good start. This one against the Giants, blanks the Giants over 5 innings. Pablo Lopez extends his scoreless streak to 18 2/3. He's having a great start to the year. Giancarlo Stanton hits a home run the day after I call him jerk. You're a jerk, Giancarlo. I mean, come on, man. Where were you 2 days ago? I don't know. But Mackenzie Gore strikes out 10 in a victory over the Reds, so he continues to dominate, which I can't wait to hear Welsh's thoughts, if he has any, about that. Joe Ryan, my dude, whiffs 9 in a fantastic outing against the Tigers, and Drew Rasmussen also fans 9 over 6 shutout frames. Let's start with Mackenzie Gore. Your guy was a little, I would say Mackenzie Gore for you, Welsh, was a guy that I feel like you were just putting to the side a little bit. You don't want people to get too excited, but it's hard not to get excited about the start he's had so far. So talk to me about what you've seen out of Gore so far. Yeah. Why has he kind of exceeded your early expectations?
Speaking of good frames, I should just shut up about Mackenzie Gore. I can't do that right. He looked finished last year. I mean, done in the complex league. The guy has it going. His fastball is commanding at 96. He's spinning the ball. He's getting strikeouts at an elite clip. I'm going to give myself a ticket. I'm going to give myself a Welsh fantasy ticket for going in the wrong direction, speeding in the wrong direction on Mackenzie Gore, because he's heading in the right direction.
Yeah, look, if you picked up Gore, you're doing very well. There's no doubt about that. Joe Ryan continues to be masterful.
God,
I've got one rotation that's so good. He's always on my bench every week. I can't get Joe Ryan in. I might have to start him over guys like Freddie Peralta at this point. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I have to get Joe Ryan in these lineups because he's been so fantastic. Yesterday, there was slander on the show against Paul Blackburn, and I understand why. I was talking about with Mayor yesterday. I get that the K per 9 in the minor leagues was a lot lower than it has been recently. Probably not going to make 30 starts and sustain this kind of pace. But right now, if you're hurting for pitching, Blackburn has been excellent, not good. He's been excellent. I understand there's certain, expectations where we know that eventually it's going to Cinderella turn into a pumpkin or whatever the coach does. Does she turn into a pumpkin? Anyway, all I know is it's not going to last. But while it does, Blackburn is somebody I feel like if he's got a good matchup or he's got 2 starts, you throw him in there. What are your thoughts on Blackburn, Welsh?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those guys, though, that, like, when it goes, it's going to go quick. And it's going to go in one start. And you're not going to want to be holding the bag. So I'm a little indifferent. Where, like, with Joe Ryan, Wonky jokingly in the chat says Joe Ryan over Brandon Woodruff. I think Joe Ryan is a must start every single week. I mean, if you're really choosing between Freddie Peralta and him, okay, I suppose that's one thing. But he is an absolute must start for me, where Blackburn is a great piece to go and, run your streams and everything. But, Joe Ryan, get in every single start.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of the DFS market too, I mean, he was a little cheaper these first couple of weeks. That's not going to be the case after this last start. There's no doubt about that. Now, going back to Gore for a second, here's a trivia question. This is the simple one. Who holds the Padres record for strikeouts in a game by a rookie pitcher? And I'll say this, it happened in 2019. So it's pretty recently if you want
Chris
to take
Paddock.
on that one. It is not Chris Paddock. It's an
Ryan
excellent
Weathers.
guess. No, it is not Ryan Weathers, but Peanuts and Cracker Jacks, if you know the answer to this question, drop it in the chat over here, Fantasy Pros MLB. Again, who has the rookie record for strikeouts in a single game for the Padres? Oh, Robert Chavez has it. Look at him. He was super quick with this one. Dinelson Lamet. There it is.
A rookie in 19?
That's what it says. That's from MLB.com. They know these things. This is what they do. Now I don't
call
know the
the
answer
station
to
and find this out. This doesn't sound right to me.
Well, I'm just telling you it was from MLB.com. So there you go. Now, our boy Mike Mayer says Taylor Ward hit a double, a triple, a home run last night against the Guardians. It was the 9th game in Angels history where a player fell a single short of the cycle. Who was the last player to do it? And the hint is it was in 2011 and 2012, and it was a big boy. That's our hint. Now, my guess is, I'm trying to think around that time. Would it be Kendrys Morales? He was kind of a bigger guy. Right?
Oh, by the way, I looked it up. Lamet made his major league debut in 2017. So just putting that out there. I'm not really sure.
Maybe I got the year wrong. Maybe that's me. I will look and be sure. But it was Lamet. It was from MLB.com. Perhaps I remember the year incorrectly. I don't know.
Okay.
But I will.
So
I
what
will double check
what was the hint on the last question?
The last one was, I'm sorry, it says Dinelson Lamet, 14 Ks versus Brewers, 9-18-19 from MLB.com. Who holds the Padres record for strikeouts in a game by a rookie pitcher? Perhaps he made his debut, but he didn't have enough innings to qualify.
Yeah, plenty of guys do that like turnover thing where it's like a couple innings here, a couple innings there, and you can still qualify. So, all right.
So the Mayor trivia question, again, this is an Angels guy in 2011 and 2012, a big boy who fell a single short of the cycle. Who was the last player to do it? So Mayor, I assume, has the answer and is in the chat. Eventually, he will drop that in there.
Brandon Wood?
Oh, my goodness. There was a player that I tried every year to make happen. Like, I would look at Brandon Wood and be like, I'm going to add this guy at the back of my draft every year. Never happened. There are two different trivia questions, Mayor's saying. The most recent player did it last year. The one before that was the big boy in 2011, 2012. Mayor, you're confusing everybody. Keep it simple. Drop the names in my Slack chat, Mayor, so I can know what's going on here for the names on that trivia. But before we do, let's get to the next segment here. Let's talk about Joe's tough guys not named the Welsh. And let's talk about what happened yesterday. So Mets and the Cardinals got into a little bit of a scuffle. Buck Showalter after the game said, I know our player got hit in the head and just went to first base. Pete Alonso, as you alluded to at the top of the show, said, I'm a big guy. I can put somebody in the hospital. I could do a lot of damage if I wanted to. You know how I feel. If you want to go hit somebody, hit somebody. If you don't, just be quiet about it. So this goes for Arenado. No posture. If you want to get in a fight, go get in a fight. Don't pretend. This is a big thing I always do here on the show. But I will say this: a lot of guys aren't getting hit. So we talk about the baseballs. Chris Bassett's mentioned them. Guys are having trouble controlling the baseball a little bit. There's a lot of guys getting plunked right now. What do you make of it all? Because it seems like a regular basis. Do you think it's just people going after guys, or do you think it's a little bit more of the baseball and guys not having the same grip because of the lack of the spider tack and other things?
I think it has to do with the baseball. That's what Bassett insinuated. The baseball seemed to be a mess. There's humidor situations. Somehow I talked about it on the In This League Baseball pod, where Scott White has brought up the point that all of the major league parks have the humidor in, and that's going to have adverse effects in some of the parks as well, like right now. And I think that's helping the deadening the ball. So I think it has a lot to do with that. I think there's a lot of control issues, a lot of command issues. I don't think there's as much purposeful hitting as we might allude to here. But, why would Bassett bring it up in the way he did?
Well, why are they having the humidor everywhere? That's the thing I don't understand. Like, why would you have it? I mean, I understand in certain locations why you have the humidor. That we all get that. We're not stupid. But this whole, we're going to have all the baseballs the same in a humidor situation, that seems ridiculous to me, because you're talking about different weather climates all over the country at any given moment.
Well, one of the interesting things, and I want to give credit to it because I believe it was Scott White that was alluding to it, is, as we're getting deadening ball right now, think of the opposite effect that's going to happen in the summer with all the parks using a humidor. You're going to have, parks that are already in a moisture, like a, decent humid climate in the summer. You might have balls flying. So my conspiracy theory is baseball is completely silent right now on the deadening the ball because they're just trying to get to summer. Because in the summer, their expectation with the new humidor setup is the ball starts flying, offense picks up by 25%, and no one cares about this deadening of the ball this first, quarter of the season. And then they can just sweep it under the rug. That's my conspiracy. Or they're just really inept and dumb and they don't know what they're doing.
All right. The answer to the question of the guy who fell short in 2011, 2012, Mark Trumbo. There was a blast.
Oh, Mark. I loved Mark Trumbo. That's a good one.
Who doesn't love Mark Trumbo? I wonder what Mark Trumbo is doing right now.
I wonder what he is doing. I bet he's like selling insurance or NFTs.
I bet Mark Trumbo did okay. I just got a Facebook thing that said you might know on your friends list Matt Stairs, and I was like, I know who Matt Stairs is, but I don't think Matt Stairs knows me. So I wonder what those kind of DH guys are doing with their time nowadays. Probably sitting on a pile of money by the pool. That's what I would imagine. All right, let's get to the stat heroes of the day. We mentioned Joe Ryan, 9 Ks in the win over the Tigers. Zach Gallen, 5 Ks, no decision against the Dodgers. He pitched very well. Welsh, 6 innings, no earned. Pablo Lopez continues to just dominate. Julio Urias, 4 strikeouts, 6 innings, 1 earned run. And Dylan Cease continues on. No decision against the Royals, but 9 Ks, man. Wow. Dylan Cease has been tremendous. We already talked about Mackenzie Gore being great, 10 Ks in 5 innings. But Dylan Cease right now, is he the best pitcher in the American League, Welsh?
Ooh.
It's a provocative question, but I don't know.
Anyway. I don't think I had thought about it in that context. Is Cease the best? I mean, you still have Garrett Cole there. I still obviously, the better question would be, is he the best pitcher on his team? Because you know how I feel about Giolito still. I don't know. I think he's in the discussion. I think he's in that top 3-4 pitcher discussion. I just don't know if after 4 starts, I would qualify him as the best AL pitcher.
I think you could probably, Gausman's pitched very well this year. Look, you could say that obviously guys like Garrett
Gausman,
Cole
31 strikeouts and no walks.
He's been tremendous. There's no, and I got to say, there's a lot of people that were hesitant about Gausman too. And I don't think there's any hesitation right now when it comes to Kevin Gausman. There's no doubt about that. He's been tremendous so far. But in the National League is where you've gotten a lot of these guys, right? You've gotten Kyle Wright pop up and he's been great. Burns has been great. Scherzer's been great. Rodon's been brilliant. The American League is kind of that Cy Young race is a little bit more wide open, which is why the Ohtani thing I think is fascinating. He bounced back yesterday too, had a much better start after imploding. The stat hero hitters, Taylor Ward, 3 for 4 with the granny. We had Jose Ramirez with his 2 bombs, Max Kepler, 2 home runs. We had Kyle Farmer, 4 for 5 with 2 RBI. Eric Hosmer cannot be stopped, Welsh. 2 for 2 with a dinger, another dinger. Eric Hosmer's on fire.
Andrew does Vaughn, it for a month, then he disappears.
I know, but man, what a month it is. Nolan Arenado 3 for 3 with 3 ribbies, and Xander Bogaerts had a 4 for 4 night too. He's been tremendous. But let's talk about Xander Bogaerts, if we may. I know, Devers and Bogaerts, those contracts are, kind of looming for the Red Sox here. Do you think that either of these guys are going to move on? Do you think the Red Sox are going to retain this core of these 2 guys? Because it feels like they absolutely need to.
They need to, but I don't know how they both stay. And Story might have been the insurance policy to make sure that, they do, or that they can dump one if they need to. Plus, their minors are built around 2 middle infield guy, at least in Marcelo Mayer and Nick York. So I don't know. There's a part of me that feels like Xander does not stay. I think Devers can stay with this team and be a lifer. Just deep down in my gut, I feel like Xander's the guy to go, especially with how they built their minor league system.
Yeah, I'm a Devers guy, but it's a really tough decision. I still think Devers is like a franchise player, MVP caliber guy, and I think Bogaerts is like right that notch below. So that's where I would have them all. So let's move on to some of the stat zeros from the pitchers. We had Carlos Carrasco, 7 earned runs. Like, it was bound to happen. He had pitched really well. He had a bad start. Okay, let's not overreact. If he's available, go get him. Somebody dropped him or something stupid like that. Vlad Gutierrez gave up 6 earned. Zach Plesac gave up 6 earned in a loss to the Angels. Pineda was not great. 5 innings, 4 earned runs. And Steven Matz gave up 4 earned, but he did have 6 strikeouts against the Mets in the no decision. The hitters, here we go again. 0 for 5, 3 Ks. Rhys Hoskins, the Franimal, 0 for 4, 3 Ks. Sal Perez, 0 for 4, 3 Ks. Marcelo Ozuna, 0 for 5, 2 Ks. Gleyber Torres, 0 for 4, 2 Ks. Gleyber Torres is batting .212 with 1 home run through 17 games. Are you dropping Gleyber Torres right now?
I would gladly drop him. If you have any other viable option out there, you do it. There's no reason to hold on to him.
Yeah. Actually, we had a fun thing here. Our friend Eric Cross had a fun little hold and fold kind of thing. Gleyber Torres is one of his folds. Here were the other ones. I want to see if you agree with this. Dylan Carlson, Adam Duvall, Trent Grisham, along with Gleyber Torres. Those are the guys he was getting rid of. Do you agree with those guys, or somebody you'd rather hold on to here in this group?
I might be a little stubborn with Trent Grisham, but
Okay.
I think you could cut them all. Need be. Like in 10 and 12 man leagues, you could probably cut all of them, but Grisham might be a little weird about.
Do you think that this is the time to pick up Gorman with the way Carlson struggled?
Yes, didn't I say this in the last episode? I've been saying this. Like someone asked, hey, is Brendan Donovan going to keep Gorman down? No, he's not. I had pulled a stat. Let me see with the glasses, see if I can even read it. But I had pulled a stat on RotoWire's batted ball data in the minors, and I sorted it by 22-year-olds with a hard hit over 30. And there were like 9 guys that showed up. Only one player at 22 years or younger was in AAA with a 300 batting average and over 40 hard hit, and had like a 700 slugging. It was Gorman. Gorman's the only one. He's at the youngest level, the youngest age, the highest level with hard hit, hitting over 300. Little bit of a strikeout issue. Pick up Nolan Gorman.
All right. Before we get to some of the other guys that Cross was holding, I saw the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks talking about this, but I wanted to verify it. Not that, I love you, Peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
I'm going to be writing a ticket here, Joe, for speeding and tearing your ACL. That's to Mondesi. And then I'm writing a ticket to you for drafting Adalberto Mondesi at all in your fantasy drafts. That's a ticket.
Not to me.
That's a ticket. And
no
that's
court
a ticket.
Appearances. I will fight those court appearances. And this is Welsh's commitment to a bit, because if you're watching on the YouTube channel, Post-it notes are expensive. Like those things are crazy.
Those aren't cheap, right?
You just wasted 3 on a bit.
That was
about
at least
Adalberto
25
Mondesi.
cents that I just killed.
But Alec Lewis, it looks like, confirms here. Royals president of baseball operations, Dayton Moore, said Adalberto Mondesi has an ACL tear in his left knee, so he is now gone for the rest of the season. So for those of you who went back into this it was a dangerous one. You had to know that. You knew the risk you were getting into. So now you've got to make adjustments. So when it comes to those adjustments, Welsh, when you're looking for guys out there right now, let's look at the waiver wire for infielders, because we have to. I mean, let's just skip right to that. I'm going to bring it up on FantasyPros.com
Hey, I
right
saw
now. So
Nicky
you want to look at
Lopez
shortstops to replace him?
Nicky Lopez might be available out there. I just want to say, Nicky Lopez, not a great viable option, but they're going to need to be more aggressive on the base pass. That might be a guy if you're trying to make up those stolen bases. If you're looking at,
well, look, you're not going to make up Mondesi's stolen bases. Like that's just not going to happen. But looking around here at some names, again, the roster percentage, I could look somewhere else for that. But guys like Jonathan VR floating out there on the waiver wire. That's another guy. Maybe you get some stolen bases out of him. Yep. That's kind of the route I would go.
Agreed.
That it's tough out there. You got Joey Wendell type guys might be out there. Maybe Ahmed Rosario, somebody dropped him because he was hitting 222 and they weren't happy about that.
Here's one. Look for Josh Rojas. He might be cut due to IL. I mean, people might have stashed him, but if he's not, Rojas will be coming back very, very soon. I would pick up Josh Rojas to replace Mondesi.
That's another good one here. All right, let's go back to Eric Cross's hold and fold. He had holds on the following players. I want to see if you agree. Dansby Swanson, Josh Donaldson, Jared Kelenic, and Julio Rodriguez. Would you hold all 4 of those guys?
You do not need to hold Kelenic. I love you, Eric. I agree. I know what you're doing here. You do not need to hold Jared Kelenic.
Not in redraft. No,
not in redraft whatsoever. You easily cut him. You should have cut him probably 2 weeks ago, to be honest.
All right, fair enough. Let's do today in baseball history, because that's always a good time. That'll brighten up those Mondesi owner spirits here. Today, in the 28th of April in 1998, Texas Rangers right fielder Juan Gonzalez smashes 2 home runs in the club's 7-2 win over Minnesota. The round tripper gave Gonzalez 35 ribbies in the month of April, which set an all-time major league record. Juan Gonzalez, I remember watching in a AA All-Star game as a kid when ESPN used to care about baseball. And I remember they used to show that out there. And I was such a dork. I would be watching the AA All-Star game and go, who is this monstrous guy? And I remember hitting a home run going, that dude looks amazing. And then he was up, I think, the next year. And Juan Gonzalez, 35 ribbies. I mean, he was an absolute monster first.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He was an absolute dude.
All right. I feel like we've, it's funny. The baseball gods giveth and taketh away. They take away Mondesi. We'll get Acuna back. This is
we'll be all right. It's a trade I'll make with the gods.
I think we'll all make that trade. But look, you had to know the risk you're getting into. And I guess for me, there wasn't enough of a discount in drafts. I have 0 shares, but I was not my kind of player anyway. Did you have any shares in Mondesi at a certain price?
No, look, I had one in a keeper league. That doesn't matter. But right. I actually thought there was enough of a discount, but I never jumped into it because I can get my stolen bases earlier on from more reliable
You have
sources.
Miles Straw everywhere.
I have way more Miles Straw. Yeah, actually, to be honest with you. But also, I think I had Acuna higher than most other people, and I'm going to be able to jump right back into that. So, yeah, I just didn't have the shares.
Yeah, I can't. Honestly, I'm a little surprised how quick Acuna is back, to be honest with you. Like, I thought we would get maybe the first week or 2 of May. I thought that was realistic, but it's the 28th of April. That's pretty stunning.
By the way, I want to give a shout out to Jay Full because it's so funny. I think he had just said great batting stance, unless it moved from.
Juan Gonzalez?
It was Brian. I'm sorry. Brian had said great batting stance from Juan Gonzalez. That was something that always stood out to me about Juan Gonzalez.
He had that really high elbow there. I also remember that error card. Do you remember where they reversed the negative of the picture and his number was backwards? Do you remember that?
No,
it was a Donruss card. Yeah, I'm almost positive there was a Juan Gonzalez error, and I want to say it was like a reverse negative thing. So you notice his number was backwards, and he was hitting right-handed or something nonsense. Like, I don't know, something like that. If anybody knows for sure,
the photo, and he went. Gotcha.
But it was a Donruss. I want to say 92. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what it is. All I know is that Juan Gonzalez was an absolute beast. Also, there's a beast at the top of the home run board we got to talk about. That beast is the Night King, still there. This is like day 4 on the leaderboard, still at 8 JP, but 7 B-Mac, Brant Cox up and at him, and High Cubby 2016 at 6. I still can't buy a home run. So that's depressing.
Did I get any love for my Will Smith home run call when I was on the show Monday? Nailed that. I got 2.
Yes, you did. We actually did give you.
What does Mayor have there? What does Mayor have?
Mayor's got 2, I think. I have 1. Bogman has 1, and you have 2, I believe.
I got 2.
So. Okay. So there you have it there. Now tonight is because of the NFL draft, there's no DFS to be played, but this afternoon and there's a couple games in the evening. There are some things we're talking about when it comes to prop bets. So thanks to bettingpros.com. We're going to bring you our favorite props of the day. And of course, the segment is brought to you by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Special offer for new users: bet $10, win $200 when you bet on any game, regardless of the outcome. Yes, sign up today, download the BetMGM app, or go to betmgm.com and enter the promo code leading off. That's one word, leading off, at betmgm.com. And today I like Kyle Wright going with the over on the strikeout. Actually, the over on the strikeout total. People sometimes like the under and all this stuff. No. It's at 6.5, which sounds high on FanDuel. This guy's been tremendous striking out guys. This is one I'm going against the grain, and I'm going on the over, even though the under is what the projection is. So this is a little wacky today, but this is where I'm at. I have that much confidence in Kyle Wright right now. Matt Olson, 1.5 total bases. I'm going to go the over on that. And Jose Ramirez, 1.5 total bases. Going to go the over today, facing the lefty Detmers. Anything pop out to you on one of these you like or dislike from bettingpros.com from our prop bet cheat sheet?
Actually, it was interesting you said that about Kyle Wright. 2 that I like, and I would parlay them together because, you don't have to, obviously. That's not the smartest play, but for juice reasons. Number 1, I really like the Tyler Mahle over 1.5 runs. He's given up more than 2 in 3 of his 4 starts. It's the Reds, and they're going up against the Padres. So I absolutely love that one. It's minus 154. And then I also like total bases on Aaron Judge, over 1.5, which pays plus money. And I'll probably talk about him here shortly.
Jay Full giving us a cheat code today. Yahoo has DFS also. And I guess Wonky mentioned earlier. So it's Wonky and Jay Full. Everybody's getting involved today. It's a group effort at the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Cunha is just $7. So I guess that's extremely cheap there. And Brian DeVita says, yes, Donruss for sure. He remembers the North remembers. Yeah, so there you have it. But it's obviously, everyone's gonna be paying attention to the football tonight, but we're gonna have some baseball, and we're gonna have some home run calls. And I'm going to plant the flag today, Welsh. I'm gonna plant it with Franmil Reyes, who I know went over with 3 Ks. I'm going to unleash the Franimal. Joe Pisapia, I'm gonna break out the Franimal. He's going against the lefty tonight. We all know how he hits, just murders left-handed pitching. So tonight, the Franimal gets off the Schneid, or either one of them. He gets off the Roy Scheider. He gets her off something. And then he goes yard. I'd love more than one, but I will take just one from Franmil Reyes, because if I go into May with just one home run, I don't know. I don't even want to think about that. Welsh, who are you going with your home run call for tonight?
All right. I'm doing this really quick. It's going to look bad here.
Is that what you got?
I'm getting the Post-its out here. I'm spending money here.
There's going to be a Staples run in Welsh's future later today.
It will be. All right. This is my right hand. This is my left hand. Pick which home run call. This is the one I had.
Now you're doing the Matrix on me.
I know. Take red pill or blue pill. I had this one, but this one's been calling me. Which one? Let the first peanut and cracker.
I want the one that's been calling you. I want the one.
You want the one that's calling me? All right,
the sexy one. Yeah.
I was going to pick Aaron Judge, and I wrote this really fast, so it looks bad. But Joe, do you know who's calling me? Oh, my voice.
Who's calling you?
Calling me? Byron Buxton tonight. Byron Buxton.
Oh goodness.
That's it.
Byron
that's all
Buxton.
I got.
There you go. There you go. If you want to make a home run call, make sure you go over into our chat, fantasypros.com/chat, and join our Discord today. It's free to join. Go check it out. Go meet all the peanuts and Cracker Jacks. And again, we got amazing NFL draft coverage going over the next few days. We got stages, we got AMAs. But again, if you want to get into home run calls and all those extra things, you have to be a premium member of Fantasy Pros. So we encourage you to do that anyway, because you're a fantasy lunatic. That's why you're watching and listening to these shows anyway. So Welsh, you have now gone up to, I believe the bill is $1.25 in Post-it notes. We're now up
I have.
To
well, guess what? Yeah. I got to go back because, as everyone pointed out, Buxton is not in the lineup today. So we'll go back to Judge.
Aaron Judge. So the whole bit. So you've now wasted many a Post-it note today.
I wasted a lot of Post-it notes today, and I apologize to everybody. Like I said,
Welsh is barely alive right now.
I'm barely alive, trying to game it, trying not to leave anybody hanging here. I feel bad. Do we have
any idea how much cold medicine Welsh is on currently? Because it's a lot.
I tried to take it before, it didn't work. So anybody super annoyed with me today, I'm with you. Well,
I know when I was in Arizona visiting you a few weeks ago, I saw a lot of dispensaries out there. Maybe that's maybe the drive-through might be something to hit up. Maybe that'll
if it would help. If it would help, I would take it. I'm literally wearing these because my eyes are a disaster right now, and my voice. Again, I have a very good respect for broadcasting and stuff. This is wild, but I couldn't leave Joe hanging on a big draft day, and I couldn't leave you guys hanging. So
Pickles makes a good point. Watch Buxton pinch hit and hit.
I should get that, since I'm so sick and I made the show. I should get that as a subtext. I get Judge with a pinch hit Buxton today.
You know what? I will, because you're such a Welsh's hardo today, because you're such a Joe tough guy. I will allow it. Allow it. Damn the torpedoes. If Buxton gets up and pinch hits for some reason today and goes yard, I'm going to let you have that one because you're such a tough guy today. Showed up on the show when you were sick and helping us out here. So in the meantime,
I got to clean up Post-it notes.
Go get to Staples. Find some more Post-it note replacements before your wife gets mad at you. And the rest of you, enjoy the rest of your baseball day. We'll be back again tomorrow. Hopefully Welsh will be feeling better. If not, who knows what outfit he'll be wearing tomorrow. I can only
wear a mask.
I can only dream. That's for sure. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on for the Welsh. I'm Joey P. We'll see you next.